So, hey, this is Mark, and we are live on Facebook. And this is the Dine.Digital dish. And I want to introduce you to my new friend, Jordan. Come on. There you are. How you doing, Jordan?
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So this is a brand new initiative that we're doing with, obviously things are a little bit crazy as it relates to the restaurant industry. So lots of things have changed. This is just one way that we're trying to help out by getting the word out about different restaurants throughout the nation. And we're glad to have Jordan from ALC Steaks. And just give us, to start off, tell us a little bit about ALC Steaks.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate you reaching out to us. And as you said, the restaurant industry is going through a very difficult time right now. We're all having to adapt to a new world of changes, and every day seems to bring a new thing our way. So, it's kind of an everyday struggle right now. But ALC Steaks is a family owned fine dining steakhouse here in Austin, Texas. We've been here since 1993, 27 years. It's been a great place for our employees, our customers to come and dine with us. And we really try to maintain an Austin atmosphere, which is more of a casual feel than you would get at most fine dining restaurants
Mm.
throughout the country. So we try to mesh both the fine dining and the casual along with the best steaks in town. So that's pretty simply what we try to do here.
Oh, that's awesome. So, tell us a little bit how you guys got started. And you mentioned 1993. What's the story behind all that?
Yeah, so our owners, Teresa and Christian Mertens, are from El Paso, Texas. And Teresa's father, Freddie Daughtry, was a manager at a steakhouse called Great American Land and Cattle Company in El Paso.
Oh, okay.
And he and his wife sold their home in El Paso to finance and open this restaurant in Austin, along with Christian's parents donating a lot of money to help the original opening as well. And so that's how ALC Steaks was born. And then Freddie passed away a few years later and left it to his daughter Teresa and her husband Christian, who's our executive chef. And that's how we got started. And the ball just kept rolling from there. And 27 years later, it doesn't seem like a minute later for sure.
Yeah, great. It's awesome. All right, then. So, what can your guests expect when things are back to normal and we're all out getting our getting our fill of steaks? What would they expect when they come to visit you guys?
Well, the first thing they'll see when they open up the door is a vibrant bar happy hour atmosphere. It's a very lively atmosphere in the first place. We have a lot of regulars that come in just for the bar happy hour. And then you direct yourself to the hostess, and she'll take you to the dining room, which is more upscale, classier, fine dining atmosphere, where you can enjoy a great tomahawk bone-in ribeye or a pork chop or whatever. We have a pretty extensive menu, and then as far as the service is concerned, they can expect, like I said, kind of a more casual style service, very person to personable.
Yeah,
They don't have a spiel that they have to spout to every customer. We allow our servers to be themselves to provide the best service they can.
that's cool. So, you kind of touched on a little bit, but what else kind of makes you guys unique, as opposed to there's obviously lots of places to get steak and that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, as far as the Austin market, we are the only family-owned fine dining steakhouse in the market. So that automatically makes us unique. And a lot of hotels and businesses will send customers our way who are looking for that family style or family owned business as opposed to the corporate chain. Nothing against those guys, they do a great thing, but a
Yeah,
lot of times with people, they just want to support local businesses. And as far as steakhouses, we're the only family owned in town.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, so tell us about the one thing on the menu that everybody needs to try at least once. And of course, everybody typically says everything, you got to get it all. But if you had to pick one, what would that be?
Yeah, well, we have a great number of great things on our menu. Obviously, the steaks are the staple of our restaurant, but I'll go a little bit beyond that and say that our grilled lamb chops are a fantastic appetizer. It's a pretty unique appetizer that you won't find in many places. They're lollipop lamb chops with a Frank's Red Hot sauce with a jalapeno blue cheese dipping sauce. I absolutely love them. I eat them all the time, more than I should. And again, besides the steaks, our pork chops are fantastic. They have a honey Tabasco red chili glaze on them, so they've got a bit of a kick. But they are, to me, the best thing besides the steaks on the menu. But then, you got to try the steaks. We have so many different great items. I'll show you one here in a little bit, but we've got a great filet mignon, great ribeyes, porterhouses, New York strips, T-bones, any type of cut that your heart desires, we can pump out for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Starting to get hungry. All right, so of course, I'm sure the local people have a pretty good idea about what it's like to come visit. But how about once we're once again back to normal operating ways of doing things? So, what would you say to people coming in from out of town? What else should they do while they're in town, visiting?
Well, there's so many great things to do in Austin. That's one of the great things about our city. It's kind of hard to fit them all in one vacation. But I always direct people, especially in this part of town, Central Austin, downtown area, to go see the bats if it's the season on
Oh yeah,
Congress Bridge. Austin is home to the largest colony in the
hmm
Northern America. And you can go see them, and it looks like a cloud of smoke. They just come out from under the bridge, and you can't even see the individual bats. It just looks like a
right.
cloud of smoke. So it's something pretty cool to see. And then the local bar scene, music industry is fantastic. There's so many great spots to check out in town. One of my favorites is Don's Depot. A little shout out to some friends of ours over there who are also going through rough times right now. But it's owned by Don himself, and he plays the piano behind the bar. And it's just a great spot to go, a little boot scooting, have a good time. You'll see 20 somethings and you'll see 70 somethings, and they're all on the dance floor having the same great time. It's a cool spot.
That sounds good. All right, so here's something a little bit different. So, for someone that was looking to get into the restaurant industry, what wisdom would you impart? Obviously, probably would wait to get started for a couple months at least.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything right now for sure. But I mean, one of the most important things that we found to help us as we've gone along here is to trust your staff, really empower them to do everything that you need them to do to run the business. And then they'll, in turn, if you entrust them, they'll give you their best possible service and way of doing things. So, trust in your staff, enable them to do the things they need to do. Don't overly micromanage everything, and just kind of let it grow from there, and then kind of steer it in the direction your vision fits, but allow your staff to really take control and do their thing.
oh, great. All right, so if you could change anything about the restaurant industry, what would that be?
Oh, well, that's something I've thought a lot about. It's a pretty unique industry in that we or our servers rely pretty much exclusively on tips.
Hmm.
And I think that's one thing that we could probably address in the future as a restaurant industry is eliminating the subjective tipping system and including that all in the price of the meal. I think that would give the servers a little bit more teamwork atmosphere instead of each one for each other. And I think the customer would appreciate a little bit more if they didn't have to, how good was his service tonight? Does he deserve 15, 20, 25? And
Mm.
just eliminate that from the process altogether. I would really like to see that.
Yeah, yeah. I know that like overseas, most places they don't do that.
Right.
Of course, I've heard too in some places that the service is terrible.
Well,
So
that's
I
not
don't know if the incentive is what drives good service all the time or not. But
yeah.
good people, like you said before, if you get those, I guess it probably wouldn't matter too much. All right. So, what do you love the most about being a restaurateur?
Well, for me, the flexibility, as I mentioned before, having the staff in place to kind of do their thing and run the place themselves allows you the flexibility to come and go as you please. If you want to take a vacation, you can because you have the staff in place that can handle everything that needs to be handled while you're gone. And also, for me, there's always something new coming your way. I know in recent times. Nobody likes what's happening right now, but there are always new challenges to face. And for me, that sort of creativity to face those challenges, however you might want to, is a fun way of doing things, and kind of keeps you on your toes, and you learn new things every day.
Awesome. Very good. So before we get to the show off your dish portion of the interview, a couple just follow up or unscripted questions. I did let Jordan see the questions before so he could be prepared. So, um, but as far as like what you guys are offering right now, I'm assuming there's a little bit different than normal way that you're serving people and feeding people. What's that look like for you guys right now?
Yeah, so it's again evolving day by day, depending on what's happening around the city, and what the government says we can do. But for now, we are doing curbside takeout and delivery through DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really been pretty good for us so far in these last couple of weeks that we've had to adapt. So we're opening minimal hours, just 5 to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday for curbside takeout and delivery. We'll pack it all up for you. We'll bring it to your car. We'll put it in your back seat for you, so there'll be no contact whatsoever. And then, like I said, we're also partnering with DoorDash now to do delivery as well. We also have our food truck, which used to go out to corporate businesses during the day. Obviously, everybody's working from home, so there's no place for that truck to be. So we have that in front of our restaurant during the day, lunch hours, and you can get a great burger or a steak frit or a chicken sandwich, 11 to 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. So between the food truck, curbside takeout, and delivery, we're doing the best we can to serve the people in Austin the great steaks.
Yeah, definitely. Now, does that have you pared down your menu at all, or is it still pretty much you can get whatever is on
Through
there?
the process of paring down that menu, a lot of it has to do with our inventory, obviously. Being everybody was so unprepared with it, we're trying to get rid of the inventory that we have in stock, and as we do so, we're paring down the menu. And so, yes, it'll eventually be a much smaller menu, just a few steak options and a few side options once we manage all that inventory that we still have.
Right. Very good. Thanks for filling us in on how things are going right now. So now we got to show off the dish. You said you had something you want to show us, so definitely let's get a peek of that.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to eat this in just a minute because it's just sitting here.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh yeah.
okay, let me get it right there in the picture there. Okay, so this is a 22-ounce bone-in New York strip. And on the side, it has some broccolini with roasted tomatoes and shaved garlic. So this is one of the options on our menu. Again, this is a dry aged New York strip. Most of our steaks are wet aged, but this is a specialty dry aged New York strip. So it's just got a different flavor, and it's really a great cut. But you really can't go wrong on any cut of beef here. But this is one of our specialties, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that looks pretty good because this is what I have to choose from right now.
Oh yeah, I got you
Applesauce.
beat, Mark. I'm sorry to
I
say.
know.
Yeah.
You got to go with what you got to go with. But if you can send that over to Virginia Beach,
Yeah.
greatly appreciate it. Very nice. Was there anything you kind of wanted to wrap it up with? Let us know about anything else that we haven't covered already.
No, we hit the gamut, but I just want to say I do appreciate you reaching out and getting our voices out there, and face on Facebook, and we're doing anything we can to serve the people of Austin our great steaks. While we can't serve it dine in right now, we're still trying to do everything we can to get those steaks out to Austin. So don't hesitate to give us a call, reach out to us, email us. We'd love to see you.
Very good. And we threw down at the bottom here the Instagram. We've got our Instagram, Dine.Digital, which you see falling across here. And then go check out Austin Land and Kennels at ALC Steaks. That's of course they have there's so many, we all have lots of places that you can find us, but IG is a good place to see the more photos of good tasting food. And definitely if you're in the Austin area already, you got to check them out. And, like I said, it's family owned, right? Private owned right there. You can support local, which is always a great idea. So once again, thanks so much, Jordan, for being a part of the Dine Digital Dish. He's our inaugural interviewee, so appreciate that. We got other people already lined up, so we'll continue to do this. And if you haven't already, follow us and keep in the loop on what's going on with Dine.Digital. All right, Jordan, have a great one and enjoy that steak.
All right, thanks, Mark. We'll see you around.
Bye-bye.